Welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm Ian Carlos Crawford.
I'm Alastair J. Patton Garcia.
And I'm Nick G. And we're here to talk about Angel Season 4, Episode 4, Slouching Toward Bethlehem.
I'm so happy to have the two of you here. As I said earlier, I'm sorry you both had to record for such a boring episode. What did we think revisiting this episode? Because I could not remember at all what happened, and it's kind of... once I watched it, I was like, okay, that makes sense that I didn't remember what happened in it. Nick, what did you think?
This was definitely a transitional episode, but to be honest, so was all of Season 4.
Fair.
So I was like, all right, I'm here for the ride.
Alastair?
This episode.
I adore you both so much. I don't want you to think this was an attack having you both on for this.
I'm glad that you didn't bring me on for another one that this one kind of alludes towards. I like this episode overall.
Okay.
If I take away what I know happens later, I think it's a solid, good transitional episode that fills in a lot of stuff that need to be filled in, and gets us as the audience caught up on what's going on with each of the characters.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you didn't fully hate it.
But still watching it, I'm like, I'm triggered, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think by that.
Right. As soon as Connor and Cordelia were together, I was like, no, get out of there. No, don't stay there.
For a minute, I thought that this episode was that episode. I was like,
I thought so too.
Wow, what a deep dive back in. Welcome back.
I was like, this is another way I want to come back to this.
So I was looking up episodes. I thought in my brain that happens towards the end, but no, it's only in a few episodes that happens. Yeah.
Bring on the trauma.
So we open on a family stranded on the side of the road. Their car won't start. Connor pops up, tells them they're in trouble. He's a creep. He doesn't know how to say he's there to save them. They're attacked by vampires. A thing that I noticed so far, I feel like they upped either the fight budget or the stunt budget, because the fights, even this is kind of nothing, but it's still well choreographed for a fight, right?
I feel like they're more widescreen fights.
Yeah.
You can even look at details in the background, or multiple people are fighting. They're fighting at the same time.
Yeah.
So I do like that.
And I guess maybe because especially that actor being so tiny, they have him do a lot of flips and airs, kicks and shit like that. And it's not something we normally see on the show, I feel like.
Yeah, well, this is the first season where, correct me if I'm wrong, but Angel and Buffy split for the final season of Buffy. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if the network was like, well, we got all this extra money for vampire stories.
Our budget for Buffy and Angel is now just Angel. So Charisma Carpenter did say when we had her on that they always went over budget. And that was an issue that they thought they would be canceled because of that. Which is weird that the spinoff of Buffy would have the
bigger budget.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think it feels like they approached Buffy, which made sense because it was a teenage show with a teenage show budget. And, once it stopped being really within that spectrum, they never expanded it, and they always kept them on budget. And you can tell that. But with Angel, it felt like, it's an adult show, so we're going to give it an adult show budget.
Yeah, that's true. And in season 7, whether it looks great or not, when Sunnydale's collapsing, that was pretty big budget for them. So I feel that was probably well, we have a little bit more budget, but we're not going to change the whole look of the show. They probably
saved up the budget for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the season 7 costume designer would always say that, I don't know if this is a thing, but if they were going over budget, they would pull from episode 99, which was a non-existent episode budget that they had for a non-existent episode, or if they had leftover budget, they would put it there. That way, that was just almost their bank that they pulled from.
Oh, we've got leftovers. Well, because they probably don't want to get rid of the budget, because if you don't spend as much, next time everybody's talking about budgets, they're like, well, you didn't spend as much, so we're going to reduce your budget. You always want to maximize the budget.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I just don't know how that works with it's now going towards this episode that doesn't. Probably no one was paying attention.
No, but as a producer of events that cost money, That's a genius idea. Just cook the books, you guys.
There you go, Nick. That's how you do FlameCon next
year. Sorry, whoa, no, the books are fine. I'm not advocating for any kind of fraudulent behavior.
Never. We're all very good and just here. So we see that he saves his family. Sure, fine, whatever. I love that there's like a 30-year-old playing a kid in the back seat. And he's like, Mom, and wearing like a silly hat, but like does not look like a kid at all. He walks through the hotel. He sees them seeing Cordelia. What do we think? So Cordelia gets quite a few arcs, if you want to call them arcs. I don't even know what the right word would be. Eras, phases this season.
Eras. Let's say eras.
Yeah. Really hate memory loss Cordelia, but not the one I hate the most of the Cordelias we get this season.
Nope.
Oh, don't wait, it's coming.
and I'm always struggling when I watch the 4th season to be like, when does it go from being Cordelia to being like this higher power that's controlling her, you know? So even in this episode, I'm like, does it happen yet? Because I know when they were drafting for the season, it was drafted differently. So I'm wondering if they had to do rewrites partway through the season to make this storyline make sense.
So, and I don't know how true this is because I feel like some people like to say this for damage control, but Joe Hill, who does a lot of the 3D printed figureheads for me, sent me an interview with, it was like 3 Angel writers, and they said this was always the plot they were going to use. They just tweaked it a little bit when they found out Charisma was pregnant.
Interesting.
And I feel like maybe we tweaked it a little bit is you doing a lot of work there, like... Because
I feel like maybe the tweaking a little bit is just the pregnancy portion, because maybe she was basically Jasmine, you know, in Cordelia's body instead of like her giving birth to Jasmine, you know?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I went back and I watched the DVD special feature that's like,
Ooh.
Season 4 in a nutshell. And one of the writers is like, and then she told us we were pregnant, so we changed everything. So yeah, the truth is probably in there somewhere, but I think overall, not to be the negative Nancy here, but Cordelia's story is kind of all over the place. And I wonder, yeah, I don't know how much that was impacted by just the pregnancy.
Because like I can believe, like what you were saying, Alastair, I can believe that the Jasmine storyline was a thing, like always there, but then because like Gina Torres coming in with a whole arc, that feels like that was planned, right? That does feel like especially planned to get like everyone out of the way for what might be happening in Sunnydale.
I have no clue if it was planned, because it almost felt like he brought Nathan Fillion and Gina Torres onto Buffy and Angel because Firefly got canceled.
And I do remember there being a quote from Joss being like, how could I not, like, he like really liked both of them, and that's why he wanted them to like still be on a show he was working on. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and like, so I think the conceit is, I was reading about this earlier, that like Jasmine, I forget where, I think it might be the next episode when they do the spell, that's when Jasmine is inhabiting Cordelia's body. But then that Jasmine doesn't track with the Jasmine we meet at the end of the season, who's like all like woo-woo new age. Like that doesn't feel like the same character.
I also feel like
it's
there's a scene which we will talk about later in the lead up to the episode that shall not be named, where they are planting seeds about Connor and Cordy before Charisma Carpenter seemed to announce her pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like her getting pregnant was incidental to they're laying breadcrumbs for some spicy moments between the two of them, which just sort of feels like, oh, we would have landed here anyway.
That's true. That is true.
Because this is only episode 4.
Just been trying to create drama to keep the soap opera portion of it going.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and like we all love Cordelia so much, and this just never feels like her. I just like, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't feel like her, and it's not that fun to watch.
I will say one thing that did occur to me is, particularly with this episode, we do get this sort of retrospective on Cordelia as a character from Sunnydale all the way through to present moment. And so in that regard, what happens later in the season, pregnancy, all of that, I still think that this is a good episode just to remind us of all of the places that Cordelia has been, all of the people that Cordelia has been, which I think that's why I appreciate this episode.
All right. So
I do want to say one thing before we move on past Connor being in the hotel. I will say one thing he did get from his father is excellent stalking abilities.
Yes.
That creepy scene where he's like behind the column, like
yeah, like
it's very creepy. I love that Fred says, not to sound all movie of the week, but you might have some sort of amnesia. And I'm like, you have no idea how, like, I'm like, she's making fun of the writing, but like, then it keeps going with that thing that she's making fun of.
Oh yeah.
Also, the gang is like terrible at their cover up when like Angel's like, oh, like sends gun out, and then him and Fred are talking, and then they come back out, and Cordy's like stepping backwards, and Angel keeps like moving in on her, and I'm like, dude, you know she doesn't remember who you like. How do you think this doesn't come off as like bad or creepy?
There are a couple of moments in the early scenes. Well, one, it's unclear if Cordelia sees Connor watching her, but everyone except Connor is down in the main lobby, and she goes, "Is someone else here?" So she's like pretty intuitive already, like in the first few minutes, even though she has no memory. And then in that next scene where Angel's like, "Well, we're definitely gonna have to lie to her," Fred's like, "No, she's gonna figure it out." And throughout this episode, I'm like, oh, the women are on their game, and the guys are just like, no, we're doing an excellent job of not at all doing an excellent job of things. Like everyone's failing at what their normal shtick is, and but the women are like, no, we see what's going on.
Well, I also think that there's a difference between her being lied to and her being eased into it, and I think that they kind of leaned into the lie to. You can be like, hey, let's ease her into it, show her some of the stuff and then slowly like explain what we are. What she would have probably freaked out anyways, honestly.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But because how do you really approach that with somebody who kind of because it's not like Angel didn't know who she was before, figuring all of this stuff out. So I don't know. And that Cordelia would have freaked out too. So
yeah, and like I don't know. There is like I think there's a world in which I could have liked this because I do kind of like someone who, I mean, she is, but she just forgets. But for all purposes, like, is not in that world and is seeing it from an outsider perspective. I do think that's kind of like, yeah, they're talking about how they like murdered something. Yeah, they're covered in like weird goo. Yeah, there's blood dripping a lot of places. Like watching the show, we don't think anything of that because that's what the show is. But if you're like coming into it as like a quote unquote just like normie, it would be a little scary and off-putting, right?
I mean, it's kind of a call forward to, if you will, the episode there are a few episodes ahead where it's kind of like Angel's version of Band Candy, where they all kind of revert back to...
I think it's the next episode.
Oh, is it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so there is that moment of like, yeah, I don't know. It's in a weird space because Cordelia both definitely does not know who she is, but is also not acting like any previous version of Cordelia that we have seen before.
That's true, yeah. Well, it could just be her mature enough at that point, emotionally mature, where we don't think she's reverting back to it. Because you have some growth, and I think some growth, character growth, sticks with you even, if you don't remember the experiences. Either that or I'm like, Jasmine?
Yeah. So the quietness both works and doesn't work for me because it makes sense like that's how it would be if you're just like the stranger walking around. But I am a little bored as a viewer with how quiet it is and watching Cordelia not be Cordelia and like I struggle with that sometimes with writing. It's like I get that this is true to like what they're getting at, but like make it interesting. Like
they could have added more comedy because I feel like Cordelia with amnesia for me would equal funny,
Yes. And
especially in this kind of situation,
right, like she would still be Cordelia. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that's the way I feel about Connor too, where it's like, yeah, he does have all this trauma. Yeah, he probably would be like fucked up and not maybe want to fuck his like weird mommy figure, but it's not fun to watch. Like,
I think the other thing it's not, not fun to watch, but I think that we're also early season 4. There's still a lot of like loose ends from season 3.
Yeah.
And so in a sense, it makes sense that they kind of like blank slate Cordelia at this point and why everyone's hedging in ways that they wouldn't ordinarily, because the last time we saw Cordelia was this won't they moment at the end of season 3 between her and Angel. And so I think that's kind of it reads as boring, but my take was that they were going for tension of like, oh, well, when we last left them, they were gonna like profess their undying love for each other. And now, like, where is that landing exactly? But it was a slow burn for sure.
Alastair, I remember in season 1 when Zach was on for an episode and like, I don't remember what episode it was. We were talking about Cordelia and Angel, and he was like, wait a minute, they don't ever actually get together? What are you talking about? And like, that was how we found out they didn't ever actually, like, he thought they briefly did.
Nope.
Even in this episode.
Just that.
Yeah.
Even in this episode, they had that moment of like, it's gonna happen.
No dice.
Not that it didn't feel like it was the moment it should happen.
Yeah.
But then again, that moment never really comes up except for when she
dies. Yeah.
Dies.
Oh, God. I mean, like, you're both hot, sure, make out. You know what I mean? Even one of you has amnesia, but she still thinks you're hot, so sure. Why not? But yeah, we get a little bit. I do like the retrospective part that you mentioned, Nick, where it's like she's looking through. I love that the photos are all clearly just screenshots from episodes.
I literally had a note that's like, who takes this many pictures of just themselves in critical moments of their life?
Right. And I
recognize that episode.
And that baby, that was not even a year ago. And I'm like, who had time to develop these photos? Like, they've had a lot going on. Yeah, and I love that it's like you recognize the outfits. You know what it's from. And yeah, I did notice it's like strictly just her. It's not like the only picture of her, it's like her and Angel and the baby, but every other photo is just herself. And like if Doyle had been a photographer or Angel, like maybe, but
this is the kind of stuff that I spend way too much time thinking about. Like in any TV show that has a picture of an actor, but from when they were a child, I'm like, how did they get that photo? This was another moment of that.
That's like when in Homecoming, in the Slayerfest 98 episode, when they're both running for Homecoming Queen, and like Buffy's are clearly the promo shots the WB had, and it's like, why does a 17-year-old have these like very well done headshots if she's like saving lives every night? Like, when did she do this?
Actually, speaking of so I think at this point so the retrospective is when she's in the room that they moved her stuff into.
Yes.
So she's going through photos, and then she goes to the yearbook and she's reading things that people wrote. And I had the same moment of like, when did they sign each other's yearbooks?
Nick.
Like, literally after graduation day.
Yes, while everything was burning up.
Yeah.
Then they were like, hey guys, wait, I hope you have your yearbook. I hope it wasn't in your locker. We should definitely sign yearbooks now.
A lot of them did have their yearbooks in hand.
The school's on fire. Want to sign?
That was hilarious because it's like, thank you for the flaming arrows.
Yeah.
Flaming arrows.
It's like I both was like, wait a minute, did they have like an event like week after the school blew up to be like, well, now you can all sign each other's yearbooks? Or
they could have gone to the Bronze.
Also,
everybody bring your book.
You know what? Sure. But also it like was funny seeing all that. Like I liked her seeing that. And I like that, like, you know, the yearbook. I like whenever they reference shit like that and casually. So I think it's in season 1 when Doyle finds her yearbook. He's like, why does it have burnt? And she's like, long story. Like I like that. Also, did y'all notice? So apparently Charisma Carpenter did not like her black hairdo. That's why when Cordelia's looking through, she's like, yikes. But then she sees a photo of herself with her current hair, which is not the best. And is like, oh, like back to pretty again.
Or whatever.
And I was like,
no, girl.
Yeah.
Season 2, 3, and 4 of Angel are Charisma Carpenter, Cordelia on a hair journey that is like She has many versions of the John and Kate plus 8 haircut, which I appreciate. The Yikes one is like very like a big tease.
Yeah, it's I was wondering. I was like, does she have like a bump it in, but on the sides of it? Because it's like very like
Long Island medium.
Yeah.
It was.
It was Long Island medium. I didn't even think about that.
But when she had her best hair like season 1. Like that was good hair, and she kind of brought that back a little bit for season 5.
I do like the season 5. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, she has really good season 5 hair.
I mean, I feel like when you have, I sound like my fucking mom. When you have a hair like that, I'm like, that's so easy to just look hot and look great, and like you don't need to do a bunch of different. Just like wake up.
Well, I mean, they probably need to do a lot, for like.
But I mean, like with style, like it's just like you don't have to like think about like, ooh, what cut will make this look good. It's like just as is, it looks great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so where are we? Where am I? My notes.
Can I?
Yes, I would love that. Yes,
okay.
Please.
So there are a couple things I'm obsessed with this room scene because I feel like it ties a bunch of stuff in from season 3. Kind of tells us a little bit about where we might go in season 4. There is one moment in the midst of this. So she's looking through her stuff. In the yearbook moment, or a yearbook moment, she goes, "Ooh, popular, no surprise there." And I'm like, she's still in there. Cordy knows who she is. But then Angel walks in and makes a reference to the ballet episode.
Yes.
Which again is like another callback to like, will they, won't they? And he said something, oh gosh, what did he say?
It's like so you don't remember because something and he like alludes to like something important happened, which is I guess them hooking up.
Yeah, he said we had a really good time about the ballet, and then follows up with working together too.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, horny angel. All right, we see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then where do we end up? Just a lot of talking about feelings. It's a lot of feelings.
A lot of talking in this episode.
A lot of talking.
A lot of talking.
Also, she did mention a lot. Like, were we like a happy family or whatever? And I think that he could have at that point reassured her. You know, maybe they aren't like a traditional family, but that they all support each other. Yes. They support her through this. Like that was a good place to build some trust that he missed out on.
I feel like Angel fumbles at every corner with this, where like, because you're right, like, oh well, not in the traditional sense, but yes, we were a happy fan. Like, sure, fine, say that, like, to make her comfortable. Like, you are not saying things that are leading this person who has amnesia to be comfortable, like. And you're like badly lying, so then they're like not so like comfortable with you. Like, I do like when he comes in and they almost kiss. I like that she asks if she's a spy, like because of the different hairdos. Because that's shit these shows do well, right? Make fun of themselves.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel like she wasn't there. She was almost there. Like if it wasn't a demon show, like she probably would have been a spy.
When she asked later, I'm like, Angel, just say yes. Just say yes and be like, kind of. Let me explain. Like, because you're right. She is almost there. I like the tension of them almost kissing. I do agree with you, Alastair. Maybe wasn't the right time, but like, and I do like the beat of when she's like, were we not happy because I was a nun? And she pulls out all the like crosses and rosaries. I do think that's funny. And like a clever way to give the reveal that he is a vampire. Which I was wondering, I'm like, but does she only remember, like, I opened my eyes and I was standing in this hotel? Because it feels like to be like, well, that's where you came from, a supernatural thing. But I think it's just that she only remembers, like, suddenly being there.
Yeah, I think it's that she only remembers suddenly being there. She doesn't know the circumstances of her ending up where she's at.
I would be excited if I had amnesia and y'all both were like, Ian, you're actually a superhero. I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Well, if I had amnesia, I'd hope I'd go on my Goodreads to see what my top reads are, and I'd reread them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Have a good first experience, Becky. Yeah.
That is very you to be your answer. I'm like, lie to me. Tell me I have superpowers. And you're like, I'd read.
Buffy from the beginning. Be like, oh my
gosh,
it's such a good film. Maybe. But what if I didn't like it now? Like I liked it then.
Sometimes when I'm stoned and not Buffy, but sometimes if I'm stoned and I watch something I do like, there will be a moment when I'm like, is this stupid? Is this bad? And like I question, like I was watching Peacemaker. Have either of you been watching this new season?
I watched the first episode.
Okay. I mean, I really think this show is good. Because Alastair, actually, the thing I text Zach about that I was like, if you watched it, do you not want to watch it? I thought he would like that show, but I know he's not into superheroes anymore. But like when Adrian Vigilante is just talking to the guy on the phone, Economos, and he's like, no, I really love owls. Quiz me on owls. Okay, we're done that. What do you want to talk about next? I was like, oh my God, this is me. Like, this is me talking to like Zach or Kim on the phone. And I'm like, what do you guys want to talk about next? Kim, however, would have been like, great, you want to talk about owls? Yes. And Kim would have started talking to me about owls. I don't remember where I was going with that. There was like a point to relate it to this that I don't really remember.
You're just vibing as who you are, Ian. You're having your Cordelia amnesia moment.
You know, yeah, I don't know. I was trying to make a point, but whatever. Oh, not even. My point was, I was stoned and watched the newest episode for a second time, and I was like, is this acting bad? I don't know. Is this acting? And like, but it's not. It's the show I watch, but I like. But I don't know. There was like something about it. There was like an alternate universe plot where like the one woman's acting differently. And I don't know why my brain was like, is she a bad actor? What's going on? And like sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes I rewatch a thing when I'm stoned. And
Ian, I want to comfort you and let you know that that's just a high thought.
But it's like, oh wait, I feel like I get it a lot when it's a rewatch, not when it's something new or a cartoon, because like who fucking cares if it's a cartoon?
So you're saying not to rewatch Buffy Stoned.
Yes.
That's probably true.
So she runs away and she runs right into Lorne. I am charmed by like the gay screaming that goes on. I think it's like cute. And I like that she's like, this is Halloween costume, right? Tell me this is not what I think it is, because like we are used to Lorne, but like that does make sense that he would be scary to someone who does not know him, right?
I don't know. I feel like I would have clocked that he's spam.
Yeah.
Can't be scared.
So she's like, oh, he's a gay demon. Yeah, that's fine.
It's cool. It's cool.
She was chased around by a straight demon later.
Right, yes. She's like, oh, we can queen out. All right, cool. We're cool. So what is it? The angel like kind of goes to explain. I do like the like cut to like, she's like explaining everything and Lorne offers her his like drink and he's like, do you want some?
Some sea breeze. And then they're like, you need to sing. And she chooses the song from Buffy season 1 that she sang in, the
Puppet Show, I think. Was it Puppet Show? Greatest Love of All?
Was it called The Puppet Show?
Isn't it that one?
It wasn't the talent show, it was a puppet show.
Yeah. And it's Greatest Love of All, I think, is it right? That's the name.
Yeah.
I am charmed by that. And like Fred points out that like Lorne looks like greener than usual. And so, okay, this is a thing where I'm like, oh, this is an annoying plot device that I wish wasn't so clunky, because like they do this a lot. This is not an uncommon thing. Lorne had a whole bar where he did this, and he's just like, this upset me. I'm going to leave. Because at the end of this episode, it's going to be sucked out of my brain. So I'm not going to tell anyone. And then that'll happen. And I'm just like, I wish it feels like Lorne, no matter what it was, he like, I don't know. He's got to have encountered some really like crazy intense shit being at that bar where like evil demons are singing and like he can read their shit. So it's understandable. Like Cordelia's my friend. I don't like that this is happening to her. But it just felt like we know it's Jasmine that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like.
Do we? I don't know. I'm so confused. We're only 4 episodes in.
Right. Well, but I mean, like, that's what I'm thinking. He's like, he sees Jasmine in the Beast. And it's like, that doesn't.
Well, I'm thinking that he sees an apocalypse or something like that, right?
Okay. So, yes, Alastair, you are right. And the reason I know this is because I'm a giant nerd. Backstory. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me in this. So lately I've been rereading or reading for the first time some classics. I'm currently in my like 19th, 20th century vibe. So I'm reading Frankenstein, but also some other classic poets, including Yeats. And the Yeats poem, Second Coming, is what has the slouching toward Bethlehem is a line from that poem. And the poem is about the apocalypse. So I don't think he's seeing, maybe he's seeing Jasmine, but there's a line in that poem that is about the beast coming. So I think what Lorne saw was the beast.
I think that makes sense to me.
It does, but again, I still say, okay, but like, so he saw it.
All right, yeah, no, fair point.
Like, he's seen a lot of shit. Like, he's arguably been around for a long time, and like, I don't know, it feels like that's not.
He's been dismembered.
Yeah.
He has
remembered. I'm not sure if that's a word.
I like that.
I mean, remembered is a word, but for that context.
I like remembered has a nice like is a pleasing flow to me, Alastair. I don't know why. So whatever they.
Is it Lila?
Oh, you know what? It's because I skipped over that when she runs out and she's attacked by the Wolfram Heart people.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking that happened after this, but right, that's because I do like that she's insisting they're Russian spies. She can't say, what does she call Angel? Angie.
Angie.
I like Gunn being like, and I look Russian to you. I like that kind of like wacky, like she's said your name wrong. I don't know why, but always like saying your name wrong always gets me. Probably because, and I think I've told the story 800 times. When I worked at Barnes & Noble with Jason, who also co-hosts sometimes, and my other best friend, Kevin, we were in the break room and there was a sign on the refrigerator that said, let me know if you're coming to my birthday party this weekend. Would love to see you. Love, Shannon. And I read it and I looked at them both and I said, who the fuck is Shannon? And the one other person in the break room sitting at the table raised her hand and said, Ian, I'm Shannon. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Ian, you are a Weavenverse character.
Wow.
Just confirms it.
She was almost Marcied right there.
Right?
She's about to turn invisible.
Oh, no.
So like a shorthand with like my friends that like I've had since then is like, who the fuck is Shannon? Meaning you don't know whatever the fuck is going on. Like that's what we say to mean like, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, but so I like all that. The show very much leans on like, well, we need there to be a fight, so just I don't know, have some Wolfram Heart people be outside. And
I liked it. I always enjoy when Cordelia kicks ass.
I do like seeing her like suddenly doing high kicks and her being like, wait a minute.
Because it kind of feels like I've just been rewatching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I love the Skye storyline and her character development. And when Skye gets up to the kick-ass level, it kind of reminds me of when Cordelia gets up to that as well.
I like Skye so much more once we get to like she can do stuff.
When she's Daisy?
Isn't it? Is it when she's Daisy by then, I think? But then what happens after? Oh, then we go to Lila and Wes, right? Yes. I'm curious what you both think, because I will say in the first episode, I was like, I really hate them together. But then I was like, maybe I like this. I don't know. I think it's the thing that I don't love is that they're only in the bed post-sex. And I'm like, okay, but give me something else.
I actually really like them together. I think that they have a similar darkness, you know?
Yeah.
That maybe because they have a similar darkness, they feel more comfortable with each other than I feel like they might have felt with other pairings. But at the same time, they're still not together, even though they're like together.
Right.
Because of that darkness, because they know they can't fully trust each other, but they also know that they can't expose each other to anybody else.
Because I do think they do like each other, like as much as they're trying to say like, no, this is just like, I do get the vibe that they like under different circumstances would be like fully dating, right? Nick, what do you think of them?
Yeah. As I was rewatching this, I was like, oh, there's a parallel here. Well, first of all, I was like, look, we've all gone through that phase where we end up sleeping with someone that we should have no business being with. And this is Wes's turn for that.
Whomst among us.
Yeah, I shan't judge.
Nope.
But this to me like is similar to the Buffy episodes Smash, Direct, and Gone, where she first hooks up with Spike, and you're like, oh, this makes a lot of sense, but this is not going to end well. And you just know it from the beginning. And so there's a lot of their relationship has me questioning, like, who's good, who's bad, where are we in terms of evil? In that scene where they're joking about, like, somebody, I guess, Lila owes Wes $1 because he said relationship and she's teasing him. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. Wait, Lila's nice now? I don't know about this. Yeah.
Well, but she does set him up.
She does set him up, but she was nice enough not to kill Lauren.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so Xana in episode 1, Xana had said that she felt Connor and Angel were almost like coming together from different angles, Connor is trying to embrace the broody whatever and repel the familyness, and Angel's trying to do the opposite, repel the broodiness and engage with the family aspect. And I said this in that episode too, I hate to compare a father-son relationship to a fucking relationship, but I almost feel like that's kind of like Wesley and Lila too, where Lila's comfortable in that setting. She's not uncomfortable with being kind of evil neutral, where she's not she's just yeah, I don't care about these people. Yeah, Angel's annoying. We'll kill his son. Who cares? And then is kind of oh, but I like fucking this guy and I might kind of like him. And Wes is trying to be I don't care, even though he does. That's forced. That's not how he actually is. And so it almost makes sense that they're meeting in the middle there of both those things.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was thinking this while watching this episode, but in general, Angel is a really good show for exploring what does it look like when heroes and villains are in a gray area. Nobody's entirely good, nobody's entirely bad. I think the reason my trouble with season 4 is that everyone's ping-ponging back and forth.
Yes.
A little too much for me to keep track of, okay, wait, from episode to episode, who's good, who's bad, who appears good, but maybe has ulterior motives. But yeah, they are meeting in the middle in this episode.
Yeah. Well, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, we don't explore a lot of evil people in the Buffyverse, though that does happen. But when it is explored, which it is much more in Angel, it's mostly kind of what we even determine as evilness, politicians or lawyers, where they do their evil doing a desk.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we experience now is that you don't have people going out there, doing evil in the streets. They do evil behind policy. And that's what Wolfram and Hart is kind of doing it. Even when she's the whole thing is going on, she just observes it. She's not participating, but she obviously, signed off on it.
Right.
The execution.
This is coming to mind, and maybe it's a clunky metaphor, but I'm almost thinking of how if a person who is white speaks 2 languages, that's classy, but then if a person who's not white it's oh, why are they speaking that language? It's where that's considered bad, but it's not considered bad if you're wearing a suit and at an office, but if you're not, then it's yeah. So I mean Lila is always, I just really liked Lila. I really hated this the first time around only because I actually liked Lila too much. I didn't want, I was Wesley feels below her. Why would she fuck this guy? As you said earlier, Nick.
Wow. Not a Wesley stan. Rude.
I do love Wesley. I do. By the end, I am weeping.
Wait, hold on. You're not already there yet? I got there.
No, I mean, when I watched, by the end, I loved him. Yeah, I love him now. But when I watched, I was a hard sell on him still.
He's another one with a great, I feel character arc.
Yeah. Oh, one of the best in the entire universe.
One of the best. Yes.
Yeah. We all know I love Buffy more, but I think Angel does a little bit better with the gray areas and the character arcs. Willow's is great, right? Willow's is still also one of my favorites, but I feel Wes and Cordelia, their arcs are so fucking phenomenal. And you don't get a lot of character arcs across 2 different shows, right? I can't think of a lot of other times that has happened where a spin-off gave us more and developed characters so well without just fully rewriting them.
Where you can still recognize who they are, but you're what?
Yes.
It's kind of like a high school reunion where you come back and people are the same but completely different,
Yeah. So, she gets the phone call. We're just going to wrap this up. She gets a phone call. Wes overhears them talking about Cordelia. She gets dressed and leaves. At the hotel, Cordelia is roaming the halls. She encounters the whatever the fuck that is, demon. He does the thing with his mouth that looks like the thing from
like a
Stranger
Demogorgon.
Things. Yes!
Yeah, like he's part Demogorgon.
Yeah, but just here.
Just the mouth, yeah.
He had a grandparent that was a Demogorgon.
Yeah. Cordelia encounters he does the thing, and then Connor kills him, and then she. Is that Nick? What you were thinking is as soon as they like ran off and they're like kind of holding, I was like, no.
Oh, are we there yet? We're here now. We're here.
She realizes it's Angel's son when she's like, oh, Angel had a son named Connor. And all of it, I'm just like, please don't. Just
watching it. Yeah.
Like I would almost, it would have been even a little bit better if she hadn't realized it was the son, or like, oh, that's a weird, or even if she'd been like, that's a weird coincidence that you're both in the Connor, because it's okay for her not to think the baby is like grown up yet,
right? Because you wouldn't assume, right? Yeah. Like,
although to be fair, she doesn't know how long she's been away. She could have been away for, and I would like to point out, 16 years. Based on last season, technically he's only like 6 months old,
right?
But apart from that, like, they definitely retconned his age, given some things that happen later.
And I think I've said this before. When I first watched the season, I didn't get that he was supposed to be, because like, not that he looks old, but he does not look like 15, and
he doesn't look like 15 or 16.
No.
Or
he looks like
I would
20.
say he looks like a 19,
20
year old.
That, and also, in fairness, this is only 4 years after Cordelia's high school graduation. She just happens to have a John and Kate plus 8 haircut, which definitely ages her. But like, in the scenes that they are acting in together, she definitely looks like she's in her 30s and he's in his late teens, which makes it feel extra uncomfortable.
You know what? You're right. That hair just didn't do anything.
It's the hair. It's the hair.
It all comes back to the hair.
Yeah.
I don't know why she didn't yikes that haircut.
Right. Yeah, I think when I watched it, to me, I was like, oh, they're the same age. Only because Cordelia does look more mature, but we know that she only graduated high school 4 years ago. And I'm like,
yeah,
this man is 20 years old, right? Like, this is not a like kid. So in my brain, I just was like, and I hadn't fully watched 4 is when I started watching obsessively the way I watched Buffy. So I had only seen, I think, like 1 episode with the baby. So I really didn't get, although I still didn't like this plot, I didn't hate it as much as I hate it retroactively knowing everything.
This is like me and the fact that Dawn's first episode was the first episode of Buffy I ever watched. And I'm like, I don't know why everyone's getting so upset.
Yeah, but I was so upset. I was like, what is going on? And I remember going back to past seasons to see, like, where did I miss this before even continuing on? But for, like, last thing about Cordelia's appearance, but I do want to say that it's not just the hair. I think that they were dressing her in, like, 30-year-old women's clothes for the time period.
For real.
Yeah.
Where she wasn't acting like she wasn't dressed like a 22-year-old usually dresses, even in a professional setting, you know?
I think also, like, they tone her down so much that it makes her, like, weirdly, that makes her feel more adult. Like you said, the way they're dressing her, like, it doesn't really feel like a Cordelia look that she has in this episode.
And then I guess she's also the youngest one of Angel Investigations, because Fred is older, because she was getting her graduate degree at the time that she disappeared. And I assume Gunn is a little older. Wes is definitely older. Angel is definitely older. Lauren is definitely older. So she is actually the youngest one in the group.
Wait, would Fred? No, Fred has to be. God, is Fred?
But I mean, that might be different because Fred is considered a genius. So she could have been.
So maybe she skipped
stuff early. But even then, she would have been around Fred's age, right?
Yeah.
And Fred dresses more that age.
She does, yes.
Than in a more cutesy way it's more like Willow-esque way that she dresses.
I think that has a lot to do with the way that they characterize. It's interesting because in Angel, there's only one female character in the gender roles are reversed in Buffy. So by the time that Fred appears, it's like, okay, well, we have one sort of like main female lead, and then Fred is kind of like the skipper of this group of Scoobies. But in last season, I think they really aged up Cordy's character as she was like getting these visions and like seeing this whole different version of
like
her life.
her.
They matured her a lot during season 3. So by the time that we get here at the beginning of season 4, and she doesn't remember who she is, she already kind of had this like maternal earthly wisdom thing that they were vibing with in season 3. And now it's like, what are you talking about? They're making this 40-year-old woman hook up with this like 17-year-old boy. That makes no sense.
A hot 40-year-old, but yes.
I mean,
yeah. Future Playmate of the year 2005.
Yeah, no, I do think that's true. And like, Jane Espenson even said this when one of the last times I had her on, where she was like, oh, we absolutely aged Cordy up, because it wouldn't have made sense for an 18-year-old to be doing all of like this without there being other teenagers. She was like, it just wouldn't have like, and she's right.
But it also makes sense in terms of character, because oftentimes if you really hang out with mostly people who are older than you, you know, you kind of meld yourself that way to that maturity level, at least with that group. Or even if you have multiple groups of friends, you know, you could act, you know, really silly with one, because that's your kind of silly group of friends, and then you have your more academic adult. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, my like friends that I had from like teens to like 20s, that friend group, were all like really filthy with each other, and that's like not how I talk with other friend. I don't know. Like, yeah, there's like certain friends that I'm like ridiculous, cartoony, like gross, filthy with, and there's certain friends I'm like, I don't know. And then there's certain friends that like I'll be like jokingly flirty with, and like Hammy and I, when we text, Hammy was saying something, and I was like, excuse me, I'm your American wife. You better like, I'll say shit like that, but then it's like, I wouldn't say that to other friends. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Well, if you split the difference between her age and Angel's age, she should probably be acting like she's 200. So
that's true.
Well, and also like with I mean, when Willow comes back, and even a little bit with Faith, mostly Willow, you see the old Cordy a little bit more, the mean bitch Cordy.
Yeah.
Which makes me also think that that's not really Jasmine, but like a modifier, almost a modifier to Cordelia, because she does almost feel younger, even though she's pregnant in bed at that time. Obviously, we're not there, but like just talking to Allison Hannigan, talking to Willow, and reconnecting.
God, out of context, Alastair, that sounds so bananas. Like, she feels younger, even though she's pregnant and laying in bed. Like, what?
I mean, yeah, but like, I think it makes sense.
No, you're right, but I'm just like, if you didn't watch the show and it's like, what the fuck are these people talking about? So we get more of whatever. It's her and Connor scenes, aside from me hating that plot, they're also boring. Like, Connor is so dull.
And it's like flirtatious, but it's almost one-sided flirtatious from her side. Like some of it feels...
It is. Nick, what? What?
Is this where he grabs her boob? Or is that later?
Before the boob grab.
Oh, God, sorry. My brain is just like, oh, it's about to happen.
Nick, that was what I was thinking about the whole... As soon as she got... That was all. I was like, oh, is this when he grabs her boob? Like, God.
I think this is right before Wes comes in to warn Angel Investigations about there being a plot.
Yeah, and that's the first time that they're all seeing Wes? Really?
In the first episode, they see him when he drops Angel off, but then he just like leaves. Okay. He like pieces out real quick.
Got it. Why is Connor's warehouse decorated with exotic animal carcasses?
I was like, that actually looks like that would be hard to do. Like,
well, I'm thinking because he was in that dimension realm for so long, they didn't have much to decorate their home, so they probably stuffed a couple of demons to liven up the place. I don't know. And he kept on that tradition.
I mean, sure, yeah. They made like a few pigeons, a few raccoons that he sees, like skins them. I
mean, he's fully got a polar bear and like a bear and a zebra.
Unless it's like a storage facility that he just like crashes at.
Yeah,
when they first walked in, I was like, does he bring her to a fancy apartment? And then I was like, oh no, this isn't fancy. But like, I thought it was like a like fancy decorated room because of all those like things.
Yeah.
I mean, he barely had a bed.
Yeah. Then we pan across and it's like, oh, this is the guy you get to his apartment and you're like, oh, You don't even have a bed?
Oh, so many flashes. Like, another example of, like, you have no business hooking up with this person. Leave. Just leave his apartment. It's not going to turn out well. Mm-hmm. And do they listen? No.
Nick,
they just sniff the aphrodisiac formaldehyde in there.
Listen.
Formaldehyde in Teenage Boy.
I can't think of anything that would make me run screaming faster than that.
Like, you saying Teenage Boy, I'm like, yeah, I know what that smell is. And that would be like, ew, what?
You're like, excuse me, I just have to go pee. And then, like, you go into the bathroom and there's like one crusty towel. He's that guy.
And he didn't have deodorant in that demon realm.
He probably stinks, right?
He probably stinks. Yeah.
So the only time I have ever, the only person since moving home that I've hooked up with from an app, it was like pretty consistent before my mom died. The first time I got there, I dropped Zach a pin, Alastair, because I was like, ooh, this is a dirt parking lot to an apartment complex that faces an empty lake behind a tattoo parlor. I was like, hey, Zach, I'm going to drop a pin just in case I'm murdered. Like, dropped a pin to him. And I never do that, but I was like, well, I'm still going to go in because I still want to have sex, but just in case, let me drop a pin.
I have a lot of girlfriends who do that. They'll just share. I've at least 3 that just share their locations with me. And then if they're going on a date, they're like, oh, I'm going on a date, just so you know. And then there's once where she was going on a date and I checked the app and she was in the middle of the lake. And I was freaking out and I was calling her and she finally answered the phone. But you know how sometimes the location just jumps
like
you
a little,
places?
yeah.
And that's what happened.
Oh, God.
Like, I would have been worried too, though.
Yeah, they pulled an Angelus on her and just like...
So Wes lets them know, what is it, that he didn't know that she didn't have her memory, right? They tell him that she, like, didn't, because he's like, that was careless to let her go. He lets them know that Wolfram and Hart is looking for her. I didn't quite take notes of this. I don't remember how we get from there to they know that how do they know she's with Connor?
Wes tells them, right?
How's he? Oh, because Wolfram and Hart is...
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So Wes tells him, and then Angel's like, oh, he's fine. He's with my son. He'll take care of her. And I'm like...
Well...
The foreshadowing, yes. I don't like it.
Don't like it.
What is it that Lauren says earlier in the episode? Like, tummy full of cobras or something?
Yeah.
That's just me the entire episode.
Also, when she said, you're bang, kill them. Oh, I forget. When Cordelia said something like, oh, you're the bang, kill them and stuff them up kind of person or whatever. It was a weird foreshadowing.
Oh, God. So Lila is like being the queen that she is, just watching them on this like Star Trek remote where she's like, good job. Which I love. And I love that she leaves because I was even a little confused. I was like, wait, but they didn't finish. But then we get the end where that was not what they were doing. We get a fight scene because sure, Angel, Gunn, and Fred show up to help. I forget when exactly Wes integrates back in the group, but I thought this was going to be the moment, but I was like, oh no, it's not.
I just don't know why they didn't bring guns to...
That is also true.
Like the Wolfram and Hart people, and I've seen them use guns before, but they only seem to use guns on Angel. So when it's everybody else, they're suddenly samurais. Like...
It's true. It's like on Doctor Who when but like John Barrowman's character could die and come back to life. Oh boy, that every monster would use like a lethal force with him, but no one else got lethal force. And it was like, well, that guy can come back to life. So yeah, we're going to stab him. Yeah, we're going to shoot that guy. But no one else is getting shot because he can come back to life.
It happens earlier in this episode too, where Cordy's surprise like karate chops the Wolfram and Hart people. And then the next scene, she runs into Lorne, a demon she's never seen. And then they have like a little girl like, So it's like, girl, you just laid out 2 ninjas in the yard.
Just a regular Tuesday, laying out some ninjas in the yard and then running into a demon. So they go to leave and Cordelia says she wants to stay with Connor.
Yeah.
Wait, is that after the boob grab? I'm traumatized. I don't remember. I know it happens
after the boob grab, because he grabs her boob and then he does this to her face and he's like, somebody's coming.
Oh, right, yeah. I love a good boob grabbing before I'm accosted by ninja strangers.
You know.
So it gets the blood flowing.
It's like, why was his hand even there?
He's only a year old.
God. That sounds worse, Nick.
I didn't write it, okay?
You didn't. You know what? You didn't. So they leave Cordelia with him.
That is a pretty big age gap.
And that is a pretty big age gap.
You can say it's 21-year age gap, I guess.
Yeah, 21 age gap when you are 20. Like, anyway, we're gonna move on. They get back to the hotel, and who do they find tied up, Nick?
Oh, Lorne.
Our poor little Lorne.
My gay bestie.
Whose brain has been sucked. We learned that Wolfram and Hart did a thing, whatever plot device to like remove what he saw. And he tells the gang they got all of it. Dun, dun, dun. That's it. Then we're done.
Well, there's one more moment of like moral ambiguity that I appreciate. The final scene is Wes goes back to Lila.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's like got some beef with her. Oh, yeah, that's when he's like, why didn't you tell me? And that's when she's like, at least I didn't kill your friends.
Yeah.
Being so cool. She knows exactly who she is, which is whoever it is most convenient to be at that moment. And she tells him, she says something like, you need to figure out who you're mad at.
Yes.
And his response is the final line of the episode where he says, it's never that easy. And it's like, oh God, everyone just feels so sad. Not Lila, because again, she knows exactly who she is.
That is why I love Lila, right? Because there's no
she's never pretending to be anything she's not.
No.
There's no like turmoil going on. Like she genuinely means it when she's like, I didn't kill your friends because of you.
Yeah.
That's me being nice, motherfucker. Like,
yep.
That's me being romantic.
Yeah. Appreciate I didn't do a murder. God.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. And there's something written on the dollar that she had given him.
I couldn't read it. I was wondering that too.
I was like, have I been out of the angel game? Am I supposed to know what that is?
I didn't read it because I just thought it was his name signed on it and that she forgot it there.
There are like 3 people listening, screaming to be like, oh my God, it says this.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like, we talked about that with Stephanie Romanoff, where she was like, I don't know, I forget what exactly she said. Something about like, Lila's not good, but she's comfortable in her, like, she doesn't care. Like, she's comfortable with who she is. And she is number one, no matter what. Like, she's number one at her list of who she's looking out for, who she cares about. But it's not, there's no, like, that's who she is. Like, and I don't know, I think that's why Lila is a villain we like, because like, she is an asshole, but like, she's confident and she doesn't give a fuck, right? Like, someone calls her an asshole and she'd be like, okay.
The perfect way to explain Lila is Target versus Walmart. Walmart doesn't pretend that it's a good, like, place, you know. They don't pretend that they're not evil.
All right,
whereas,
I see your metaphor.
Somebody else does, and then it's like, I don't like them, because you're at least knowing what you're getting with them versus, you know, being told different truths with another place.
There's a newer Walmart that went up by me that literally has like concrete slab floor. Like there's not even like flooring on top of it. It's just like concrete slab. And I feel like that's what I was picturing when you were talking about that, Alastair. I'm like, oh yeah, the Walmart by me, that's like the newer one that doesn't look new inside because they don't care. Which, all right, fair. And when you first started, I was like, I don't know that this is going to work. But then it was a good metaphor.
It's also like, you know, like with Target doing their stuff and then pivoting, Walmart never really pivots that way.
They're like, yeah, we got a bunch of guns. Come buy some or don't. We don't care.
Yeah.
Or go fuck yourself. Like that is true. And you know what? My mom used to always say that about racist people. that she wanted them to be racist so she knew who not to talk to. She'd be like,
absolutely.
I want to know if someone's racist because I don't want them to pretend around me, so I know not to fucking talk to them. And that was always her thing.
In 2016, a lot of people outed themselves as that, but then they felt more secure being that. And you know what? If that's who you are, at least we're getting it at face value versus people who hide it.
Because then I'm
more insidious, I feel like.
Yes. I'm not gonna accidentally be buddy with you if you're open, but if you're hiding it, I might be tricked, and I don't want to be tricked.
I would be friends with Lila. I think we
know that too.
Yeah. I mean,
just at after work cocktail friends,
yeah. I mean, I'd go easy around her. I don't know that I want to be compromised in front of her, but yeah.
You're like, Ian, I know she's bad, but
she's a good time.
And she's hot, so
oh my god, she always has a perfect blowout. I'm jealous.
that reminds me, have y'all seen the show Mid-Century Modern yet?
Yes, I really like
it. One or two,
yeah. With the Republican Congresswoman.
Yes, I feel like that was really true to life. Nick, I feel like you've encountered this woman. It's she's crazy conservative white woman, but then when she's with the gays, she's like, oh my God, let's get drunk, girls. And loves being with them and doesn't understand why they would have anything against her, even though she's Marjorie Taylor Greene level, insane conservative.
I do like that show. I will watch it and I will trust that they will make me laugh throughout the frustration.
I stopped only because I didn't watch the last 2 or 3 because I know that the actress who played the mom actually died.
Yeah.
So they have a dead mom. And I was like, I don't need to engage with a story like this right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Popped out.
So some trivia for this episode. Basically, this just has a bunch of references. Graduation day, flaming arrows, burning down the school, giant snake, Mayor Wilkins at graduation day. Cordelia learned she was a cheerleader and a princess on this episode, which kind of is the with the layers of Cordelia Chase. Cordelia sings a song she sang from a puppet show. And Gunn is upset, which this is not something I remember at all. Gunn is upset when Cordelia threatens to turn him into a rat. And apparently that's a thing that is brought up again in Apocalypse Now-ish. He is afraid of rats. Which, sure. All right, now that we are at the end, favorite outfit, Nick?
I'm going to go with Lila's, light blue silk gown dress, that she gets out of bed with. Because again, that with the, perfectly Melrose Place blowout, it's just...
Philip Ellis has said she has perfectly... beautiful blowout 90s Star Trek hair, and I feel like those are in the same vein.
It's an era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alastair?
You know what? I'll also pick Lila.
All right.
What she zipped herself into.
Okay. All right.
And she was wearing it at the end of the episode too. Yeah.
This episode didn't have a lot of good outfits. I picked Fred's outfit because she looks cute in her little denim jacket.
Yeah.
Least favorite, Cordy's white muumuu. Why?
She ascended in that, Nick.
Oh,
duh.
My God. No more muumuus.
This is the season that she's going to go between muumuus and athletic clothes, but it's not athletic clothes. It's just
baggy athleisure to hide.
Athleisure, yeah.
It's so badly hiding a pregnant belly. It's just fucking, I don't know.
Give her a big purse.
Yeah.
After so many shows have done it so well. Yeah. It's just why?
I say this, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is holding a fucking purse or a box in every episode of Seinfeld where she's pregnant. She's just holding something. I would have rathered that, I feel like.
Carrie was the same thing. Sarah Jessica Parker was holding a Birkin in front of herself.
Oh, was she pregnant in one of those seasons?
Yeah, she was pregnant, and the character obviously never had was pregnant or never had a kid. Huh. And so she would have, if they're walking down the road and it wasn't a close up, it should be holding the Birkin like that.
That makes sense. Yeah. Favorite scene, Alastair?
I
didn't write anything down for this, so I also have nothing because I couldn't think of anything, and then I realized I never wrote anything down.
Well done, so I'm gonna say Cordy's fight scene.
You know what? I'm gonna go with that too. I liked seeing Cordy doing a high ninja kick. Nick, are we gonna go with that same thing? I guess
we're gonna have to.
Yeah. This was I was oh, go back to this, and then I never did, so I just didn't write anything for this. What grade do we give this episode? I'll go first. I give it a flat C. Nick?
I'm gonna give it B, because it gets so much worse. Just kidding.
Alastair?
I'm going to give it a B, but that's without me. With all the foreshadowing elements that triggered me, it would probably be a D, but I'm going to give it a B just for standalone by itself.
Fair. Thank you both for joining me. Thank you all for listening. If you like Slayerfest 98, you can find us on all social media platforms at SlayerFestX98 and anywhere you get your podcasts like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can watch all of our recordings because they're all video recordings on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, give us a good rating. It really helps out the podcast. If you want to support us on Patreon, any and all support is much appreciated. We will be going through, by the time this airs, we will be in process of Buffy Season 5 for its 25th anniversary. We also cover X-Men the Animated Series and Batman the Animated Series. And if you want to follow me on social, I'm at Ian X Carlos on all social media platforms. Alastair, where can everyone find you?
I'm at Alastair J. Patton on all social media platforms, and I also host a fantasy book club on the AZB Plus Patreon channel.
And Nick?
I am behind the scenes at FlameCon and at Geeks Out.
All right, well, we will see you all next time. Bye.